One of the biggest mistakes that I made as a documentary filmmaker happened before I even pressed record. That mistake caused me to shoot far too much footage, and all that footage created an even bigger problem when it was time to edit. The frustrating thing is that I repeated this cycle across several projects before I realized that these three mistakes were connected. I have now shot and produced more than 20 documentaries for development organizations, including FHI 360, Project Hope, Pathfinder International, Clinton Health Access Initiative, and many others. And the stories have covered everything from family planning, maternal health, HIV testing, and other important development issues. I didn't attend film school or receive any formal filmmaking training. Most of what I know is self-taught, just driven by a passion for helping people to see, hear, and feel important stories through videos. That also means that I learned many lessons by getting things wrong. And in this video, I want to share three mistakes that affected the quality of my early documentaries and made the editing process much harder than it needed to be. And so I'll be sharing three mistakes, like I said, and the third mistake may sound like a simple administrative issue, but it can seriously damage your creativity in the editing phase. Mistake number one. The first mistake was starting production without doing enough preparation. I often went into the field with a very basic plan or a thin script. I believed it was better to start filming first and then discover the story through my lens later on. Like work everything out during the edits or when I get to the field. And it sounds creative, but it created a major problem. Because when I returned from the shoot, I had footage, but I did not always have a clearly defined story. Instead of using the edit to strengthen the story, I was using the edit to search for one or to search for a story. Documentary filmmaking should leave room for discovery, yes. Real people, real situations will sometimes take a story in an unexpected direction. I understand that. But discovery should happen within a clear sense of purpose. Before filming, develop a flexible story outline or treatment. Identify the central question the documentary is trying to answer, and then think about the people you need to speak with, the scenes you need to capture, and the information that your audience needs to understand. All of that, it's better to just have that all written out before the actual shooting begins. You can also go ahead to create a shortlist or a storyboard where it is useful. Speak with stakeholders and consider possible risks, and even prepare a plan B and a plan C if possible. A production plan should guide you without restricting you. When you know what you're looking for, you have more freedom to recognize and capture the unexpected moments that make documentaries really powerful. But poor preparation did not only affect my story, it also changed the way I used my camera, and that led directly to mistake number two. The second mistake was capturing far too much footage. When you are unsure of what you need, everything begins to look important. You record every conversation, every angle, every activity, because you're afraid of missing something. And you hope that somewhere inside all of that footage, you will eventually find the story. But excessive footage comes at a cost, and I learned that the hard way. It consumes storage space, consumes battery, consumes time and energy. And more importantly, every unnecessary clip must still be transferred, reviewed, organized, and considered during the edit. Overshooting can make you feel productive in the field while quietly creating hours or even days of extra work later. And that's not something that you like to experience. So the solution is to shoot with intention. Before pressing the record button on your camera, ask yourself, what does this shot contribute to the story? What part of the sequence am I capturing? Do I already have enough coverage? And this does not mean ignoring spontaneous moments. Rather, it means understanding the difference between staying alert and simply leaving the camera running because you do not have a plan. Good preparation helps you to know what you need, what you already have, and what you can safely ignore. Well, unfortunately, I made all that unnecessary footage even harder to manage because of the third mistake. This was the mistake that often followed me back to the hotel and eventually into the editing room. The third mistake was waiting until the entire shoot was over before properly organizing my footage. On a multi-day production, it's tempting to finish the day first and then copy the files somewhere and tell yourself that you organize everything later. I often thought I could deal with it once the week's filming was completed. But by then, I had accumulated a large amount of footage, partly because of mistake number 2. And then I had to remember what I filmed, where it was stored, and which clips were still missing, or, it was just a mess. And that made preparing for the edits unnecessarily difficult. At the end of every shoot day, create time to organize and back up your footage properly. Use a clear folder structure. Separate footage day by day, location, camera or interview. Label everything, make brief notes about important clips and anything you may still need to capture. Review enough of the footage to confirm that the image and sound are usable, and then use what you discover to improve the following day's production plan. So in essence, it's good to review every day because it even helps you for the next day. Now, this daily routine may feel like additional hard work when you're tired, but it can prevent a larger problem much later. These 3 mistakes form a chain reaction. Weak preparation leads to uncertainty. Uncertainty leads to overshooting. And excessive footage becomes far more difficult to manage when it is poorly organized. Good pre-production and daily footage management give you something extremely valuable, and that is more creative freedom in the edit. You can spend less time searching through files and more time shaping performances, shaping the story, building emotion, and telling the strongest possible story. Which of these 3 mistakes have you struggled with the most? Planning, overshooting, or organizing your footage? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more practical filmmaking and visual storytelling lessons drawn from real experience, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.